Hello, Matrix, and welcome again. Today we are looking at financial maths, and I want to show you how to work out the effective interest rate. So, say you were to invest money into the bank, and they told you that you get 6.7% per annum, say, compounded daily. Well, you would actually be getting more than 6.7% because each day you get interest on the interest. And so if you wanted to work out the effective annual interest rate, you would use this formula. So let's just go through the formula and then we'll do a couple of examples, and we'll use the example I just said, your money in the bank. Okay, so it starts with this formula here, which says 1 plus I effective is equal to 1 plus I, the nominal or the nominated. So that's the interest rate you get quoted over the period that you get quoted it by. So, for example, if it was annually, if you were compounded daily, then you would say the interest rate divided by 365 days in a year to the power of 365. Or if it was monthly, you would then say I would be whatever the percentage was, but then the n would be 12. And that is how you would then calculate it. So I is the effective interest rate. So this is what you're actually getting, right? So this is like your actual interest in a given period. Okay, often it's just annually. And then nominal, this is the quote. This is like what your bank will quote you. So we can think of that as like your quote. Quoted I. So say that could be quoted, right? And then the n is the number of times it gets compounded. So you need to learn this formula because it's not in the formula sheet. So you learn the one in pink. So I effective is equal to 1 plus I nominal over n to the power of n minus 1. So that's how we rearrange that formula. So, okay, so let's think about a bank, right? So your bank, when you invest money, they might tell you that you get 5%. So they may quote you 5% per annum. Okay, so that's what maybe your, if you put it into a savings account, they say 5% a year, but your interest is compounded. The bank compounds daily. So when we think about our formula, the nominated is 5%, but it's compounding every 365. So our n is going to be 365. Okay. So this is kind of a real life example. And so that's all we need. We've got our INOM, so the nominal interest rate, and we've got the n. So we can simply put that into the formula. So we'll say I effective equals 1 plus the nominal, which is 5%, over, it's 365 times that it gets compounded, n, and then it's minus 1. And we can simply, n is 365. So we can put that in as well, 365. And we can just set that straight into, put that straight into the calculator to get our, so it doesn't really matter what, this question is not about how much you put in the bank. It's just about what interest are you getting. So there's no P or anything like that. 5%, shift percent. So you could also say 0.05. It's compounded 365 days to the power of 365. Okay, and then we minus 1. Actually, let's go back, sorry. Oh, too late. Minus 1 equals, and so we get I effective. Oh, and we just need to times it by 100 to get our percentage. So I'm going to say this is the percentage. And so to get it as a percentage, we need to times by 100. So we get then 5.13%. So we see we get slightly more than 5%. Well, that makes sense because you get it compounded daily. So let's say that this is more common, is they say in these past paper questions, it's usually monthly, right? It's usually they say, well, you get, so let's say we get 10% per annum compounded monthly. Okay. So now what we can do is we can say, right, now my I nominal is, so that's going to be our I nominal interest rate, and our N is 12 because we compounded, and we should get slightly more than 10% if it's compounded monthly. So now we can try this in our calculator. So let's clear that, and we'll say 1 plus, and then it's going to be 10% over 12 to the power of 12. And then, of course, we subtract 1. And we get 0.1047.